Hello there, I'm Nathalia Melo, your unfiltered fit BFF, mom of two turned CEO of a fitness empire. Someone who understands the struggles of trying to stay fit, sane, and sexy, all while juggling work, life, and motherhood. And this is the Unfiltered Fit Life podcast. Follow along wherever you're listening and join me weekly as I help busy working moms just like you simplify their fitness journey so they can lose weight, regain their confidence, and feel sexy AF. It's time to stop living in the what ifs and hiding from the cameras. It's time to regain control over your body, feel sexy naked, and wear a bikini confidently. People already see you as a super confident woman, but it's time for you to feel the same way too. Let's go. Hello there, fam. Welcome to another episode of the Unfiltered Fit Life podcast. I'm Nathalia Melo, your host. And today I am going to start the episode with a question, especially for you. And you need to be honest, okay? Pretend I'm sitting right there with you, looking eye in eye. So you're not allowed to tell me stories or tell yourself stories. How many times have you postponed or left it for later or said that it wasn't the right time to start taking care of your health and fitness because you had a party coming up or because you had a trip coming up or because you had illness in the family, somebody wasn't doing well, or because the kids were off school? I'm going to wait for you to give me the response. And if you want to give me the response and send it to me on my Instagram, the link is down below. Talk to me. I would love to hear from you. And the reason I'm asking this is because here's the thing. I'm 40 years old. I have been in the fitness space for 26 years. I've been a coach for over 15. And I'm a mother. My son is about to be 8. Probably at the time of this podcast being released, he's already going to be 8. So I've been a parent for a minute. My daughter is going to be 7. And I cannot recall in my adult life, especially since becoming a parent and owning 3 businesses, I cannot remember any day that I woke up and I was like, you know what? There is nothing going on today. Absolutely nothing. Every time that I felt like there was nothing going on and I just was like, woo, there was in fact something going on. I just forgot to put it on my schedule. And then I ended up working twice as hard the following day or the following week because I forgot that I had to put something on my schedule because there was in fact something going on. Anybody else? Am I alone here? I don't know. Maybe it's just my ADHD, but every adult that I speak to, I feel like we're very much on the same page when it comes to that. So point being is that there is always going to be something going on. And I'm going to tell a little story now. I was watching the Copa America, which is the soccer tournament that is happening. Brazil was playing. They played terribly, just side notes, but I digress. And the game, Brazil and Uruguay, went to penalty kicks. And whenever the kicker placed the ball on the dot, that was the exact distance that you're supposed to be from the goal to where the ball is supposed to be for the player to kick. Every single time, the referee needs to keep an eye because the players, every single one of them, they would move the ball a little bit closer to the goal. None of them, absolutely none of them were like, you know what? Let me bring this ball all the way to the middle of the field and try to kick it from here because that is going to give me such a better chance of succeeding. They wanted to bring themselves and the ball closer to the goal, not further away from the goal. So what does this have to do with your fitness goals? Why is it that most people, whenever it comes to vacation, for example, now we are in the middle of the summer, whenever it comes to vacation, they always want to wait until after the vacation to start taking care of their health and fitness? Why would you want to take 3 or 4 steps back to work towards your goals instead of working with what you have? Because here's the thing. I hear oftentimes people being concerned about the holiday season. Oh, because the holiday season, things get crazy and, I just get completely derailed and I have no idea how I'm going to maintain my fitness. But in the grand scheme of things, the holiday season is approximately 6 weeks. 8 weeks stops if you start to consider like the weeks leading up to Thanksgiving. Summer, at least for me and for most women that I have been speaking to going by the summer break from school, it's 12 weeks. And I see time and time again, women especially, putting their lives and their fitness on hold during the summer break because they are, quote unquote, feeling overwhelmed. And I get it. It can feel overwhelming. I have kids too. I know how it feels. But how does it make sense for you to say that you want to work towards a goal and take a break intentionally for a quarter of the year because life is busy? Especially when we are talking about something that is going to happen again next year, or another vacation is going to come up. One thing that I want to ask yourself, if you keep on telling yourself, oh, I'm going to wait until after my vacation. Oh, I'm going to wait after the kids go back to school. I'm going to wait until the stars aligned and I win the lottery or whatever bullshit excuse you keep on telling yourself. Are you going to stop traveling? Like, is this the last vacation you ever go in your life? Because if the answer is no, what makes you think that not learning how to navigate your health and fitness during a period of time that is likely to be repeated again, either in the next 6 months or in the next year, or maybe even sooner than that, how do you think that you're going to be able to have long-term success when you're not getting the tools that you need to properly navigate these events that are going to happen in your life? And the thing is that now going back to the analogy of the soccer that I used earlier, every time that you wait for a event or for somebody to become healthy again, or for the stars to align, or for the Holy Spirit to come down and tell you that you need to go to the gym, every time that you postpone, you are pushing the ball farther and farther away from the goal. And it's interesting because today I had a call with a lady who joined my signature program, the Powerhouse Academy. And she was telling me how she didn't even realize the weight that she had gained. And she was consistently gaining about 1.5 pounds per month, every single month for the past year and a half. And then she was like, Nathalia, I didn't even realize because it was 1.5 pounds here, 2 pounds there, half a pound here, 1 pound there. And slowly she got herself farther and farther away from her goal. And she found herself in a body that she didn't like, in a place that she didn't know how to regain control of her body, and in a place where she actually felt like she had lost control of self. So, but every time that I go on vacation is just a few pounds. But how many vacations have you gone on? How many parties have you gone on? How many times has somebody gotten sick in your house? If you have kids, listen, them things get sick all the time. I get it. But if every time that a curveball happens or that an event that is likely to happen again, like summer breaks, if you have young children, every time that something like this happens, you feel like everything needs to stop. You are never, and I can say this wholeheartedly because I have been there, you are never going to be able to reach your fitness goals. Because if you feel the need to pause your fitness strategy, your nutrition strategy. Every time that life gets in the way, life events, they are going to happen. Somebody is always going to be sick. It might be every other month. It might be every 2 months. It's not if, it's when. If the strategy that you're using does not allow you to navigate these different peaks and valleys of life, you are never going to be able to accomplish your fitness goals until you change the strategy. And to begin changing the strategy, you have to begin changing your perception and your mindset around accomplishing the goal that you have, in the sense of, oh, I'm going to have to stop everything because X, Y, and Z is happening. No, why does it have to be perfect? Why does it have to be, oh, if I cannot be in the gym for an hour, so I'm not going to train at all? Or if I cannot be perfect with every single one of my meals, then I'm just going to eat cake for breakfast because I'm on vacation and woohoo, like I'm going to have a pina colada for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and call it a day because you only live once. Why does it have to be so black and white? And until you are not able to answer this question on why does it have to be so black and white, every single year, you are going to be like the soccer player that I talked about, the other option that I said of the player that brings the ball to the middle of the field. You are going to be getting yourself farther and farther and farther away from your ultimate goal. Is a month going to make a difference? I don't know. I don't know if a month is going to make a difference. Oh, I'm going to wait a month until I get back from my vacation. Sure, you can wait. But 9 out of 10 times, the women that say that, they have already been telling themselves that they are going to wait since Christmas last year, or potentially since the summer the year before. And one thing that is important for you to remind yourself that doing nothing is also a choice. Surely it can feel scary to start something new when everything feels a bit out of control. But what is the worst that can happen? Can it be worse than what often happens with most women that I have worked with, which is that they gain tons of weight every time they go on vacation and put themselves farther and farther away? We had a member, Stephanie. I'm actually going to share her story on my Instagram because it's quite amazing. I spoke with her 6 months before she signed up for the Powerhouse Academy. And these 6 months prior, I told her, I'm like, I don't think now is the right time for me to help you. I don't think you're ready. And then she was like, why? And I was like, I just don't think that you're ready. I don't think you're ready to be compliant. I don't think you're ready to do what needs to be done. She was very adamant that she could do it on her own as well. Like, and that was one of the things I didn't find at that time, that she was going to be, that it would be coachable. So 6 months goes by. She sends me a message and she was like, Nathalia, I understand now. I really need your help. And I got on a call with her and I chatted and I was like, okay, what makes you feel that now you need my help? And what has happened that you came back and you think that I can help you? And she was like, I tried on my own and you're right. And I was like, okay. This was around December, not last December, the December before. So whenever she reached out to me again, it was right before the summer break last year. She had actually gained weight from when I first spoke with her in December. And she had a trip coming up where she was going to be gone between 7 and 10 days. She was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make any progress. And then I asked her exactly what I'm saying here. I asked her, I was like, are you going to stop traveling? You have 2 small kids. Your kids are going to go, are going to start going to school. Are you going to stop traveling? Are you going to stop going out on the weekends? And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay, so what happens when we wait for this trip? And then you learn how to become 100% compliant when there are no wins. You learn how to stay afloat when there are no wins. What happens when there are wins? How are you going to be able to stay consistent if you have not prepared yourself for whenever things get a bit rocky and windy? And she's like, oh, that's a very good point. So she was like, okay, you're right. I want to start straight away. The time that she was away, I'm pulling up here her file. She was gone for 7-10 days. By the time She went on vacation, which was 2 weeks after she joined the program. She had already lost 5 pounds. And then by the time she got back from her vacation, this was still going to restaurants, just following the guidelines that we were able to provide to her. She was 10 pounds lighter than when she had joined. 10 pounds by the time she got back from her vacation. So we're talking about give and take 4 weeks. She had already lost 10 pounds. What if she had waited? Instead of starting at 129 pounds like she did, she could have started at 135, gained 5 pounds while she was away. But instead, she had already gained the momentum as she went on to her vacation, which was 2 or 3 weeks after she had joined the program, which she was trying to postpone that as well. I was like, let's trust the process. We work with you. So the more you start to learn how to work with the environment that you're given. Because here's the thing, your fitness goals, if you're getting into, working out or wanting to accomplish a specific fitness goals, if you're getting into it, thinking that is a one and done kind of thing. Oh, I'm going to be very strict for like 8 weeks or 12 weeks, and I'm going to eat nothing but lettuce and ice cubes, and I'm going to accomplish my goals. And I'm going to go back to the way that I was before. If that is the mindset that you're going into, you are not going to be successful. Period. The end. How do I know this? Because that was my mindset when I competed. Oh, I'm going to get shredded for the show. I'm going to eat nothing but lettuce and ice cubes. And I'm going to deprive myself so much that every time that I'm around actual normal food, I am going to go off the rails and eat for a family of 25. I'm doing air quotes because I can. But the truth is that every time that I had one of those episodes, I went farther and farther away from my goal. I wouldn't start any fitness, anything, regimen before going on a vacation because I wanted to make sure that it was a free for all. And then every time that I came back, I was farther and farther away from my goal. The moment that it clicked that whatever strategy I was going to utilize had to work with the lifestyle that I had chosen for myself. And the lifestyle that I have chosen for myself is my family and I, we love to travel. Just this year, so far, we have traveled 3 or 4 times. Long trips, short trips, but we have. It's an average of 1 trip per quarter. So I had to come to terms that if I wanted to maintain a physique that makes me feel comfortable, that I feel comfortable taking photos with my kids, that I'm not hiding from the camera, that I'm not, feeling uncomfortable and not being able to truly enjoy and be present for the experience. After spending all that money on a vacation, I want to be able to be present. I do not want to be worrying about what my ass looks like in a swimming suit or if my belly is hanging out. That's not what I want to be worried about. I want to be worried about being there, enjoying, having a good time. In the moment I understood that all or nothing mentality that I had of always waiting for the perfect C to be 100% for 12 weeks, but then having no strategy and no structure and no guidance and no plan on how I was going to navigate life after that, that kept me stuck. Waiting for the perfect time kept me stuck. And I don't want that to be you, because we also work with a lot of ladies who are more mature, who are, in their 60s, 70s. And quite honestly, I'm tired of hearing the same stories because it's sad of these women later in life telling me how they wished they had taken care of their bodies, they had taken care of themselves, they had prioritized themselves sooner, and how much of life they weren't able to truly enjoy because they felt uncomfortable in the body that they were living in. It's heartbreaking to hear this from women who are incredible women because they didn't know that they didn't have to wait for after the vacation. They could start now. So if you are someone who is constantly waiting for, they start to align the perfect time, and you have been stuck in your fitness journey on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. And you're basically feeling right now the exact same way that you're feeling this time last year and the year before, or maybe even worse. It is time to reevaluate how you are approaching your fitness journey throughout the year, not just January to March, then right before the holidays, September through beginning of November. Focusing just on these 2 blocks of time is not going to give you the long-term fulfillment within yourself that you're looking for. The stop and start is going to eat you away, and it's going to make you feel like you're failing, like there is something wrong with you. And I'm telling you, there is nothing wrong with you. But maybe the strategy that you're using is not the best for the life that you have. And that applies as well, no shade here, but I see a lot of women who do have a lot on their plate, and, kids, and work 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, a partner, and, all the kids' sports on the weekends and traveling on vacation. And then they're trying to get advice from their 20-year-old friends or coaches who their only responsibility is to go to the gym. And I've been that person. I'm saying this because I have been the 20-year-old whose only job was to go to the gym. And I remember how it was challenging for me to empathize when I spoke with women who had a lot more responsibilities and a lot more irons on the fire, why they couldn't just, can't you just go to the gym whenever you want? No, I can't. I know that now because that's me. So it is about finding what is going to align with your life throughout the year. And even look at the big picture. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? Is the gaining and losing, balls to the walls for 12 weeks and falling off the wagon for the other 12 weeks because vacation came, and God forbid you stay consistent at any capacity doing vacation because, oh my God, no way, it's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible because the only way that you have been taught how to do that is by spending 2 hours in the gym and eating lettuce and ice cubes. What if there is a different way? So just to wrap up here, I think it's very important that we do have these conversations, because the more I speak with women, I'm seeing how frustrated they are and how they're starting to blame themselves like there's something wrong, they're broken, and oh my God, it's my hormones, oh my God. But the reality is, can the hormones play a part? Sure. But if you have not been consistent, and I'm talking about consistent, not consistent for a week and then don't show up for 2 and then you're back after that for the 4th week and then you're complaining. No, I'm talking about consistent for at least 12 to 24 weeks. If you have not been consistent for 12 to 24 weeks, it's not your kids, it's not your hormones, it's not the vacation, it's whatever it is that you are trying to do might not align with your life right now. And postponing for after the vacation is not going to make it any better. It's just going to make you more frustrated because you're going to be doing the same shit, but just 5 pounds heavier. How is the kick towards the goal going to be any better and any more precise by bringing the ball all the way to the middle of the field? It's not. It's not. I hope this was helpful, guys. This one today was really from the heart because it really breaks my heart because I have been there. I have been someone who always put things for later and felt like I was broken because I would go balls to the walls, go harder, go bigger, go home for 10, 12 weeks. And then I didn't know how to maintain after that. So I get it. But there are different ways. I'm going to be hosting on the 18th of July, completely free training, because I do know that vacation is something that a lot of people struggle with, not only the confidence piece of it, but on how to make food choices whenever they're away so they don't see themselves even farther away from what their goals are. So I'm going to be teaching you how to avoid vacation fat gain without giving up carbs and mimosas. And at the end of this training, you know exactly what to do to torch fat before, during, and even after the vacation. If you want to sign up for it, you can click the link in the description. This is going to be live on July 18th. Space is limited. I would love to see you there. Bring your questions. I am going to make this as interactive as possible because I do want you to get as much value as you can as you go to a vacation. And even if you don't have a vacation coming up, a lot of the things that I'm going to be sharing are going to be incredibly valuable for, even if you have a weekend getaway or if you have a work event that you're going to have to be out of town, not necessarily vacation, but you're going to be out of your element. This is going to be very informative, not only for vacation. It's going to be very focused on vacation, but a lot of the things I'm going to be teaching are going to be useful if you are someone that travels for work or travels from time to time that is not just vacation. Okay. Hope to see you there. Make sure that if you enjoyed the episodes from the Unfiltered Fit Life podcast, that you leave a review. That is your way of telling me that you value this, that you like me to keep on doing this. Share with a friend. That's how you're going to pay me. As of right now, there are no ads on this podcast. I've been offered to do a sponsor post. I'm not interested at this time unless it is something that is incredibly amazing that I swear up and down that is like the best thing since sliced bread. But I am not just going to push any crap here. So your way of paying me for my time, and there is an investment associated with this podcast, is to share with your friends and to leave a review so more people can find this content and get the help that they need. Make sure that you sign up also to the free live training on July 18th on how to avoid vacation fat gain by clicking the link down in the description. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. But let me ask you, what was your aha moment in today's episode? I would love to know. You can leave me a comment or voice message at the link in the show description. You can also follow me on Instagram and let me know what topics you want to hear more about or who I should have on the show. As for today, this is it for today, guys. I'll see you back next week for another episode of the Unfiltered Fit Life podcast.